Hi everyone, I'm Vandana Muture. I'm the mindset coach and your host for the show, The Collaborative Minds. This is the eighth episode. And while I give you guys some time to join in, I see that our viewers are just joining in. Let us discuss a little bit about the topic that we are going to cover today. Now, I have grown up in a two-tier city called Nagpur in India. And frankly, I haven't even witnessed like a fight, a real fight in front of me. Never happened. I mean, not that it hasn't happened in Nagpur, but I never got a chance to witness it myself. So I often wondered, how must it be for people who have grown up watching, in war-affected areas where they know that there's something going on around them? How must it be for them? What must be going on in their mind, for especially for kids? What must be their beliefs, and what must they be thinking about peace? Or do they start believing that war is something that's so natural and so common, and that they'll also grow up and participate in that? No idea. I have no idea. But I wonder as well that when we receive the education, the awareness that there is a world that exists, where there is peace, that it's possible, if we can get more and more people to know that if they can find peace within them, they can create the kind of reality that they want for themselves. They can continue to believe in themselves and all the beautiful possibilities that they can create for themselves and for all the loving people around them. So, with that context, let me welcome our guest, wonderful guest for today. Here he is. Welcome to our show, Mr. Daud.
Thanks for having me, Vandana.
Thank you so much. We are really looking forward to hear your inspiring journey.
Thank you, Samia.
So, before we begin, let me give a little brief introduction about Mr. Daud. Mr. Daud is a business owner, the president and the founder of Youth for Global Peace, INC. He has facilitated a lot of peace leadership programs and is a youth leader and peace education advocate who is focused on the efforts towards global peace and promotions of the culture of global peace. Mr. Daud has extensive links and networks with key refugee and migrant groups in Australia. In 2017, he was nominated for the Australia Day Achievement Award. What a wonderful introduction, and thank you for all the amazing work that you do, Mr. Daud.
Thank you for having me today, and this opportunity for me to share my, my experience and my journey and where I am today and how I got where I am today. So, no, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. I see that our viewers are joining, and this is a message for your viewers. Please let us know where you're joining us from. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward from this session? I see that there are already likes and hearts. Wonderful. So keep sharing your love, keep sharing your comments, and we'll get to your questions by the end of the session. So let's start, Mr. Daud. So as we were talking earlier, you mentioned that you arrived in Australia with a single focus to learn more and to choose a career pathway, such as you could create your, a life of your desires. So let us know, how was that for you when you got started?
Yeah, I think for me it was a reset button, and it was sort of like pressing the reset button and starting all over again in my life and from scratch. So basically, I have to reset everything: my career, my goals, my vision, because I was new to the country, new people, new culture. I had to adapt. I have to, restructure myself on my life and what I want to be and who I want to become.
Wow.
So basically, it's more of a recollecting yourself and starting from fresh and an opportunity that you can't miss, and therefore I had to take it. I had to take it.
I love that grit and determination in you. For the sake of our viewers, how old were you when you arrived here in Australia?
So basically, I was 17 when I arrived here, and between high school and university. So I missed finishing my high school over there. So I had to come and do a catch up to be to be in same level as my my age mate. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So I had to. My journey was basically a little bit different than other kids because I was in the middle and I missed that high school and this high school, so I had to adapt and come in the middle, and therefore I start with TAFE college, basically in between high school and university, and there my way I had to start with the college and to level up myself and go.
Thank you for sharing that. I mean,
yeah,
that's such a tender age, 17. I mean, that's the time when it's so much to take in for a boy, young boy at that age, and to have that determination that no, I want to make it all worthwhile. I am okay. It's okay for me to hit that reset button. I'm ready to start no matter what it takes. That's a lot, and especially at that age, because in adolescence there's so much going on, and there's rebellion, and there's all these strong emotions within us. But to have faith and grit that there is another way possible, there's another life possible, that's beautiful. So how did you arrive at a decision on which course to pursue as a young student from Kenya?
Yeah, so I had to sit and outline my career goals. I had to set up fresh goals, goals that I probably a few years before that I didn't think of, and I asked myself, what do I want from my career? What are my core values? What activities do I most enjoy as a kid? What did I enjoy most? And what are my interests? These are the things that came to my mind, and therefore I had to write the list of things that I just mentioned, answer the question and the answer, and therefore my answer was coming as I was reading the questions. I'm getting towards something.
Wow.
So I could see myself working on something that is leading me sort of like an area of my interest, basically. Yeah.
That's like taking the inner journey. It's self-introspection.
It's a journey. It's a journey to especially it's especially because you're thinking about your career. You're thinking about all of your life. What are you going to be from now to goodness until you retire, until you get where you want to get in your life. Like this is that's why I said reset button for me, and that's why I have to outline my career goals and start from there on.
Now, what I'm learning from your story is that you had so much of a clarity that I want to do this and I want to make it a career pathway forever in my life, because there's so many of us who take things for granted. When it's available for them, it's like, oh, maybe if it works for me, fine. Otherwise, I'll do something else. Even if it's laid out in the platter, things are taken for granted and they don't value the education as much. While and for you, it was taking that inner journey and realizing what is it that I can contribute towards, what is it that matters to me, and choosing a career path accordingly. Wonderful.
Absolutely. This is that's what I was saying, that if you don't write it down, it's hard to know what you're working on, and you gotta have that. You gotta see this list in front of you that you're working on. You can't just work on. Can't walk a road without a map. So you gotta have that map. As long as you have the map, that's a guideline that's guiding you to where you want to go in life. Basically.
Yeah, I loved your usage of the word map here. Because how many people ask those questions? We don't really ask those questions. Usually it's like whatever everybody else is doing, I'm going to do that. Or maybe what my parents have told me, I'm going to do that. Or what my best friend is doing, maybe I'm going to do that.
Yeah, true.
So how often do we pause and really ask? And not just ask, what you mentioned is like actually write it down. Because when you write it down, it's further emphasizing or reinforcing to ourselves that what do we think and what do we want.
Yeah. And as you go, you can tick that checklist, because you can't just skip that checklist, because the checklist as you go, there's something you're going to do, one task completed, tick that, go to the next one, the next one. And the best way to do it is go, write it down and write what help do you need? Who do you need to speak to? How do I get there? Who can I speak to? Who can help me? What do I need? these are the things that you should come into your mind when you're writing down this question. Because this will give you the best answer. This will give you the easiest answer. As long as you have these answers, your path is clear, I'll say, with the help of God. Yeah.
Definitely. It's yeah, as you mentioned, that we cannot do it ourselves. We cannot do it alone. We need people around us. That who do I reach out to? Who can help me with this? Who can give me provide me some guidance around it?
Yeah.
So when you arrived here and you mentioned that you enrolled in with TAFE, who were, I mean, how was it for you? How was the guidance available for you? Whom did you reach out to?
My point of contact was, first point of contact was my family. My family supported me, who were here before me, and supported me and showed me the path, showed me the way, showed me TAFE. Of course, didn't know what TAFE was and all that. And then the next thing was, you can't just, once you start that, the next part is for you to help yourself. Now you know what TAFE is. Now you know what you're doing. Now you know who to talk to in TAFE, and who specifically do you need to deal with. And that is the TAFE career counselor that also helped me, because this is the person that came to mind, and I was like, who can I speak to? And this is the person. And thankfully for me, it was a nice start, and because this is how it is. Another thing is your community leaders. Community leaders are helpful because they will show you and they'll tell you something that you might not know. They might give you the connections that you need because they know a lot of people out there. And your point of contact should be, after your family, should be community leaders, and also career. Could be university, could be college, could be school. Every institution's got their career counselors, and this is the person you speak to, whether it's just educational or whether it's personal matters as well, because they're counselors and they're there to help you. But there's a lot of organization out there in Australia. We're lucky enough because there's a lot of Australians organizations out there who are helping people, no matter their race, religion, faith, whatever you call it. They're there to help.
Wonderful, and thank you for sharing that goal again, because it's not just, there are resources available around us all the time.
Absolutely.
It's our willingness to know, to seek out, to reach out.
And can I say, because in this day and age, it's just a search of a button. You just go to Google, look for the nearest services available near you. They're all free of charge. You just walk in, introduce yourself, and tell them what you need, and they'll help you. They'll help you, definitely.
So I understand that it all comes down to how badly do you want it? The person who's driving it, how badly do we want it?
It's all about you. If you don't want to help yourself, no one will help you. It comes from you. It comes from you. It ends with you, because the benefits of whatever you do yourself, it's just go back to you first before you help others. So help yourself, get out, and seek help, and seek assistance, seek guidance, seek people that can, tell you what you want, and therefore you get where you want to get to in life.
Absolutely. Seek help there. And as you mentioned, initially when we come out from different regions, from different countries, we do need our community people around us to before we engage with the local culture. It takes time before we find ourselves into that comfortable situation. So it's always good to access what we can easily access, start from there, and then keep moving towards belonging to the society that we're living in.
Exactly, and be part of it. Be part of it. Be part of it. It's not like you're gonna say, okay, it's not something you have to be inclusive. You have to be engaging. You have to be part of the community as well.
Absolutely.
Help, whatever you can. Yeah.
I see a lot of things for you, Daud, here. I see our viewers are commenting and they're looking forward to the session. They're saying hi and sending their regards.
Yeah.
So yes,
hi,
wonderful. Yeah. I love that through all the episodes. This is the 8th episode of the Collaborative Minds, and through all of the episodes, the one theme that always sticks is we need to be able to be in touch with who we are, and need to know that it's all about us. It's all within us, and we are the one who are driving things around and creating our reality.
Exactly.
Wonderful. So let's move on to our next question. Now, as a youth leader and a peace education advocate, what would be your tip for young immigrants moving into the country from war affected areas?
Like I said, I think you have to empower yourself. You have to be look for, you know, how you can be part of this great country. Australia is one of the best countries here you can ever think of, and therefore you need to be part of it. There's a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of organizations out there who are willing to help. If you want to be part of it, it's just a click away of Google search. Therefore, it's important for you to seek that help and also be part of it. You know, universities got a lot of small organization within the university. Be part of that. Volunteer volunteer your time. Do something useful for the community. And the more you go out, the more you volunteer yourself, the more you meet people. Engaging community engagement is the main. You have to engage with other people. Therefore, that will open your mind. Not just, you might have a different mindset of Australia. You might have different mindset of what is it like for me when I go to that country. So you have to open yourself. That's the best way to be part of the change.
Thank you for sharing. I love that message because we often talk about having that feeling of connection, having that feeling of belonging. But if we hold ourselves back, if we don't go out, as you mentioned, if we don't go out and engage, if we don't go out and connect, how will we ever establish that bond or have meaningful relationships? So, how was it for you when you started? What organization did you start volunteering for?
This is what I said. It's important for you to engage with local community leaders. For me, my first, like I said earlier, first contact point was community leader. I spoke to my local community leader, and therefore I volunteered for my community first, and then I got all these links. Went to volunteer myself as a Red Cross blood service. Worked in the canteen, worked in help the nurses, helped setting up the place, and help people donating bloods. And this is my first volunteer job, once I arrived. And also on the side, I was also working as my own community volunteering, Somali community, that is.
That's wonderful. As they say that it's only through service that we actually do find our purpose and our path. So you
meet a lot of people. You'll meet a lot of people. Your mindset will be changed because you're gonna see how things work, not what you think about when you are in your own country. It's different, like different way of things work differently in a different country. So you gotta adapt and you gotta be part of it.
Absolutely. Again, another wonderful message coming out there. As you said that it's always good to assess what do you think in your head versus what the reality actually is. And
absolutely.
And you can only sit on the side and observe, or you can actually jump in and participate.
You want to be part of it. You want to be part of it. You want to be a spectator. It's just that's your choice. And if you want to be part of it, you're in a good path. Like it's like I said, Australia is a friendly country. People are very welcoming, humble. So be part of the change and be part of it, and therefore, you will get help. People will assist you.
We have this wonderful message from Aditya here. He says, yeah, it's all about our mindset. The way how we act to adverse situation is what can be dealt only with calmness and peace. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to our next question. Now, what, as per you, is the key aspect to connect with someone and establish a level of trust and understanding?
I like this. Ernest Hemingway famously said, the best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. So you have to trust the person before you even, said, oh, what if? That what if is not important. What is most important is for you to start the trust first. And therefore, the other person will trust you. So the trust comes from you and then goes to the other person. It's what you show, the other person will react to it. That's how I see it, and that's my my technique of trusting people.
Love that.
Yeah. So be a good listener. I guess, you have to listen to the people. When you meet people, don't rush to the, like if the person is a little bit, before they even say what they have to say, you have to listen. Be a good listener. Listening is the key aspect of understanding the other person. If you don't listen, you won't get the point. You're just rushing to it, and you don't know what was coming to your way.
I love both of those points and how they come together, because first you need to be able to trust them. The quote that you've said, that to be able to trust someone, just trust them, don't question. If the fact that you're questioning it is that you're not trusting it. So
Absolutely.
begin from a place of trust. And I always wonder how interactions will completely change if you begin from a place of trust. When you show that trust, there is a 90%, 19, I would say 98% chance that the other person will give you reasons to trust them. Just because you're showing in so much of trust in them, they give you reasons to trust them, and they end up doing, helping each other and collaborating the way things could go in the best possible way for both the parties. And when you said about becoming a good listener, it's also trusting that the other person knows something that I don't know, that I'm going to learn something from them, so let me just listen. It's a, the need to prove that I know more, or sometimes it's the need to ask questions, or sometimes it's the need to just show that I can talk better, or whatever it is, that we don't listen as much. But if we just trust that every interaction, every person that we talk to has something for me to learn from.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Changes everything. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that answer. So moving on to our next question. Now, starting a not-for-profit organization like Youth for Global Peace, it requires a lot of collaboration. So what, as per you, is the key mindset strategy required for a successful collaboration?
I think in a collaboration, you got to think about relationship. Think of a relationship. What's the value to you of the relationship? What's the value to them of the relationship? And what's the other person? What type of relationship do you have with the other person? You have to also build trust, and relationships the key thing here. So trust the relationship. Have that respectful relationship with the other person. The more you show who you are as a person, the more the other person will be able to, collaborate with you. And also because when you're collaborating, it's working both ways, working for your favor as well, also working for the other person's favor. You're all working together as a team. So for me, it's also building trust as well. And, like we said earlier, trust come back wherever you go. Trust is the key.
I am all about trust. In fact, the reason I got into coaching was because I figured that why can't people trust each other? If only there is more trust in the society, how everything will change. So I love what you said, that it all starts from being your true self, being authentic, and being able to have that trust and a meaningful relationship in a collaboration. That's what helps it grow together. So if you come together with with fakeness or with an agenda, it shows. It shows. Definitely.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it shows, because this is at the end of the day is a teamwork, and therefore you have to show the trust, and the other person will trust you. The work will be done, collectively in a collaborative way, and a smooth and a collaborative way. And that's the best that you can ask for. Having a work done, that's the best feeling you can get once you've done a job as a team. It's really good feeling.
Wonderful. I can see that. And personally, being a part of Youth for Global Peace has been a wonderful feeling for me as well. And it just cannot be without, it cannot exist without collaboration. The trust that you show to your team, in your team members, and in their ability to carry forward the activities that they said that they would, is what keeps it going.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, moving on to our next question. This is a really important one for you. What is your mantra for peace?
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, peace be upon him, said, the best among you is the one who doesn't harm others with his tongue and hand, which means the person who doesn't say, abusive languages, assaulting others, things like that, is the best person. And the other person is the person who doesn't use his hand to harm others, is also the best person in you. This is a message from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. So this is my mantra. This is something I always keep to myself as a young boy, as I grow and who I am as a man now. This is something that always grows with me, and it's why I'm also a part of peace community. Yeah.
Wow, again, thank you for that message. Yes, it's having those standards for oneself. It's having those values within oneself that no matter what, I have no intention. Sometimes it happens unintentionally. That's a different story altogether.
Yes.
But having no clear intention of harming anyone, it just, if that's there, I mean, that just brings in the internal peace. And I feel there's a Malcolm, our first guest on the Collaborative Minds, had said that peace is an inside job. So when you achieve that peace within you, it directly reflects in the outside world.
Outside world, because peace is not just without absence of a violence. It could be within yourself as well, and this is where you should think: who am I? What am I inside myself?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, and before our interview today, I was reading about this earlier, and I came across these articles. They said that there's aggression, anger, all of these emotions are natural to humans. We have them within us. It's emoting them or expressing them in a healthy way. If we suppress them, they come out in different ways, in fights and in wars and in harming others, actually. But it's allowing those, they're called negative emotions, but they're all still human emotions. So it's allowing those emotions and letting us to express them. So that it doesn't come out in unresourceful ways outside. So thank you for sharing that message. And we're getting a lot of thumbs ups here. Thank you, our viewers. So moving on to our next question. Now, who has inspired you the most and why?
I think there's a lot of great people out there who can inspire others. But for me, who stands out most was the great Nelson Mandela, Madiba. He was, he understood that while it was important to forgive, the history must not forget. This is when he saw what happened, during the apartheid. It's just he didn't seek for revenge. He just didn't seek for revenge. He didn't, he just respond to it by in a different gesture, different way of peace. He was just from another world for me. He's just the best.
I see that he truly inspired you.
He didn't react. He had all the powers to react and to do something evil, but he didn't do that. As a president, he just came and said, you know what, I'm not going to go that path. Let's go the right path. Let's go the peace way. Let's deal with this in a peaceful manner and solution.
Thank you for sharing that message with us. And it's, as you said, there's always that chance to follow the flock and to just do what everybody else is doing. But it takes a different person. It takes a lot of self-control. It takes a lot of self-awareness to know that, no, this is not for me. This is not what I want to do. And taking that time to not just react, but responding in a way that is true to you.
Yes. And this is, something happen to you in the shopping mall, someone stab or like someone walking by and they might hit you, there might something happen by accident, you might think, you might swear, you might just say, instead of calm, he was calm, whatever happened, he forget about it, he just came back. And this is the man who's been arrested, been in jail for so long, went through all this, came out and said, look, I forgive you. I'm not going to go that path. I'm going to go this path. And this is the person we should follow. I think in this world where we need a lot of peace at the moment, I think.
Absolutely. Another wonderful message. It's forgiveness. It's who else is going to pay the price? Actually, if we hold those memories within us, if we keep telling us ourselves the same stories again and again, it's bothering us, then it's bothering the outside world. It just completely develops an unrest in our inner world.
Exactly.
And
Yes. Yes.
that starts reflecting in who we show up as. And you mentioned it briefly earlier that who we show up as is how life shows up for us. So if we show up
Exactly.
from
Yes.
a place of peace, we invite peaceful experiences.
Yes. Yeah. So it comes from you and it goes back to you and to the community. And
Mm,
therefore, you have to start peace within yourself and then influence your family and then, to the, extended families, and then with the rest of the community will join in, and therefore we'll have a peaceful world. Hopefully one day we'll have a peace day. It will peace, around the world.
there's certainly amen to that. And it's one piece at a time, as they say. It
Yeah,
doesn't have
start
to
from
be an
yourself.
entire thing.
Start within yourself. Yes.
it
Yeah.
doesn't have it doesn't have to be that I want to make, and a lot of people think that they want to contribute, they want to make some changes, but then they sit back thinking, how am I going to do anything for world peace? Maybe not outside, and maybe not for the entire world, but
A
start. You can
small,
always start.
a small step toward peace. It's more than anything else. You gotta take the step by step. A small step is better than doing nothing. You have to take that step. That's what I
Mm.
always think. Yes.
Nothing moves without action. We can
Yeah.
think 1,000 things, but if we don't act, it's never going to do
Even
it.
your intention will help someone else decisions. You know, you know, if you, I mean, your words, not your intention. Your words may influence someone else's action. Someone else may was thinking about an evil thing, and you say, you know what, I don't think that's a good idea. The person may stop. And
Mm.
this is why I'm saying small action, it's better than not doing anything.
Absolutely. That's again another powerful message that even your intention might change someone's life. So,
Yes.
just don't, to our viewers, just don't think about it. If there's anything that you feel like contributing towards, move towards it. Take those little steps. It's one step at a time. So just get started. And before you know, you'll have a community supporting you. Before you know, there are people joining in together. So I now
Yes.
take this opportunity. Thank you so much for all the wonderful information, Mr. Daud. So I now take this
Thank you.
opportunity for our viewers. Please drop in your questions. Let us know if you have anything that you'd want to know. I already have one question here from
Yes.
Varun. He says, "What will be one tip that you can give to individuals to help them find peace and tranquility within them while being unaffected by the outside environment?"
I think you have to. I'll put it in two ways. One is it's seeking positive thing instead of the negative thing. Look at the positive side of things. You know, what good thing? If this is something happening within yourself, think about what is good about me. What am I good at? Focus on this thing, because the minute you think about the negative stuff, this will influence your inner ability as well, and that will change your mindset. So think of a positive thing. Think of a something, you know, meaningful, something positive, something that is gonna help you and help focus on getting inner peace.
Wonderful. It's about finding a meaning that works for you. It's finding
Yeah,
how that is positively going to impact you. Thank you for that answer.
impact you. Yes, yes,
Yes, and what you mentioned about having that positive, when you said that even the intention counts, if we just start applying the same thing inside, a little amount of positivity just changes the world.
yes.
How, how
It's all about what you think. You might see something. Oh, I can't do this. Yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this. No, you can do it. It's just what you put in your head. You got to think about it. You got to see this way. Oh, I can do it. I've done it before. I'm gonna do it. I was like, I never done it before. I have to try it, because if you never try it, you never know if you're gonna do it or not. So you have to start moving. Have an action. do something about it. Do something about it. Don't just sit and watch.
Love that reaffirmation, Varun. So do something about it. As soon as we realize that there's something that needs to be done, reach out who can help you, and then take that action yourself. Just listening is never going to change anything. So thank you for that message. And I also have one more question for you, Mr. Daud. So I do believe that, I see that you've always been working with youth. Now, when did it occur to you that it's the young people that you want to work most with? How did you decide that?
I think as we're moving, every generation has got a different mindset, and I would say the generation before us, I'm not going to say they failed, but they nearly failed, because all the wars that's happening around the world, it's caused by a generation before us. You can't say the youth, and therefore the youth are all young, vibrant, looking forward to new things, and it's a fast-moving world we're living in at the moment, and therefore, of course, with the internet, the help of the internet and everything else that's coming in a fast pace, I thought youth can change something, can change the next if not our generation, then generation, our kids, the next generation, hopefully, will have a different mindset as well. And that's why I work on my generation, the youth on my generation, hopefully in a mindset of looking, the next generation hopefully will benefit from it.
Thank you. And I resonate so much with that feeling of yours. It's all it takes is a change of mindset. It's giving them, it's empowering them with that mindset that it's possible. You can make the difference no matter what's going on in the world right now. If you decide today that there's going to be a different reality for you, you can create it. It's possible. And with your experience, giving that and sharing that with the youth, bringing awareness to them, giving them, leading workshops and letting them know all the information that they need, giving them the toolkit to go about and making a change makes all the difference.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I think that completes. So viewers, let us know if you have any more questions, if there's any kind of contribution, any work that you would like to do in this space, in work with youth, please feel free to reach out to Mr. Daud. And please
I'd like to take this opportunity, like if anyone that's listening, if they're interested to be part of peace, working toward peace, Youth for Global Peace is a place to be and to be part of this organization. It's all about young people. It's all about the youth. It's all about the world we're living in at the moment with all uncertainties that's happening. We need to have some sort of mindset of having peace. And therefore, if you want to be part of it, our website is Youth for Global Peace. You can reach us out there and email us, and hopefully someone will get back to you and we can talk about it wherever you are. You could be in another country, but there's something you can do it while you're there. Surely there's something you can do about it by just, starting the movement.
Beautiful. Thank you once again, Mr. Daud. I appreciate your time and all the wonderful.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thank you again. So to our viewers, don't just think about peace, do something about it. Thank you so much for your engagement. Thank you so much for your presence. And to all those who are going to watch the recorded version, please do feel free to drop your comments and reach out to us. Thank you so much again, and wish you a beautiful day ahead. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.